10 seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day 3 of the Shanghai Major presented by Perfect World. As we get underway with Group C action, we're in the first of 2 winner bracket matches here. LGD taking on Newbee, and elsewhere in the group winter, it will be OG taking on Archon. The 2 winners will play, the winner of that will advance, and then there will be one final team that emerges from the dust of the lower bracket, GSL group, to advance as the second team into the winner bracket of the main event. So with that said, well, looking at LGD and Newbee, for many they are the last few teams that have a shot from the China region to actually make it into the winner bracket. We've seen the Chinese team struggle so far. Some have attributed it maybe to lack of practice over the Chinese New Year. Some may be saying they're struggling to adjust to the patch. And, well, in any case, LGD, last time I saw this team was at Star Ladder. They had a pretty decent showing, but definitely not a dominant one by any stretch. So how do you rate the team match winter? What are you looking on, and what are the keys to the game?
I think LGD might be a slight favorite compared to Newbee because they are slightly more stable over the past few months, and they did pretty decently, like you mentioned, during Star Ladder. And Newbee, however, are having roster issues in the last few months. They finally sorted things out. Their captain right now is from the Me team or the second team. Captain of Newbee, Y, I think that's the
Newbee Young.
Newbee Young. So they moved him up the ranks, and they included Chuan, which was previously from IG. I'm curious to see how they play right now because I haven't really seen them play too many officials.
Yeah, there's been, all we really have to go on are rumors about how scrims have been going, and, you know, if you believed every rumor about scrims, then every team is the team that's going deepest in the event. And, well, this is something fresh from Newbee. Off the bat, into the tiny IO, and you look at their last 10 games, they have not run an IO a single time, they have not run a tiny a single time, and frankly, not many teams are in general, outside of maybe Alliance and OG, so this is a curveball. Maybe they've shown it in scrims, but they certainly have not shown it in official matches.
It's like a Chinese meta. Remember the games where eHome lost? There were a couple of games they opened the draft with Night Stalker, and we're seeing LGD here banning Night Stalker in the first phase. So it seems like the Chinese teams are somehow still favoring the Night Stalker pick, which was quite popular during MDL. We see it a lot on position 4. The greedy Undertalent support. You jungle and you just get your Aghanim's at minute 21 or minute 20 around that time with brown boots and urn. So maybe the Chinese teams are all mostly favoring that, but it hasn't worked out too well against the other teams. So I'm not sure because it's Chinese versus Chinese team, so maybe they are still thinking that this might be something that teams might be using against each other. And the opening pick, which is also an Enchantress opening.
It's interesting because LGD clearly wanted to take Guan out of the game. They ban out the Chen, they first picked the Enchantress to try and deny him probably his highest impact heroes, the junglers, but Newbee were ready for this. They go a completely different direction. Now, we'll see if it works. Enchantress, either as an offlaner or a jungler, can put a lot of pressure on the lanes early on.
They have not run a jungling support like for ages, like LGD. They don't run jungling supports. You mentioned the last 10 games Newbee played, they have not picked IO or Tiny. I believe for LGD, it's the same for them. They have not run any jungling heroes.
Do you think it might be an
offlane
Enchantress?
Yeah, it might be offlane, but obviously options are still open. Maybe they are switching up their style, they're running jungling heroes now because I'm not really sure. But we'll just have to see. So they're picking up Witch Doctor, which is a support that really well with the relocate because of the cask. Good presence in the lane, you know, good early game. What LGD are looking to go for right now, because you against IO Tiny, you generally want to put pressure early, because when it comes to mid game and late game, the mobility and the relocate and being able to towers and destroy towers very quickly is going to be very difficult to deal with. So you ideally want to take control of the game early.
Gonna enter the second phase of picks and bans now. I want to point out there's a lot of very popular heroes that have been entirely ignored thus far. Lone Druid ignored, Nature's Prophet was ignored, now gonna get the ban.
Lone Druid was ignored quite a lot of the games. There were only bans mostly.
eHome it was banned versus every game.
eHome and probably Alliance.
Alliance. I didn't actually see
against
the game.
Alliance. These are the I think most of the games they were, and the day before they were banned against these two teams, and even when it was available, not everyone actually wanted to pick it.
What do you chalk that up to? Because that hero was very effective at MDL.
I think it depends on the teams. And overall, if you ask me during the panel, I was even thinking about Prophet being better than Lone Druid because you're actually much more flexible in terms of what you provide in the game. So I think that Nature's Prophet is a much more flexible pick overall because you can fit Prophet into
10
multiple
seconds
array of
remaining.
strategies. And Lone Druid is like you have an offlaner that
5
plays a
seconds
position 1
remaining.
role. So you have limitations with your lineup.
Reserve
And it
time.
also tipped hand quite a bit early on. So, Newbee going to ban the Invoker. OD is still out there, by the way. Someone that we've seen a lot of over the past few
You know,
days. Steam stock's been rising.
Have you seen
Newbies,
Enchantress versus
turn to
OD?
ban.
Like in the lane, Enchantress actually beats OD. Like
Really?
if you actually do a mid matchup, Enchantress versus OD, like it's quite well in pubs.
You do the usual skill build, just
Yeah.
max untouchable.
Yeah, you max untouchable and you just can't trade with her as OD.
But do you think it's worth it?
10
Like, will the
seconds
Enchantress
remaining.
offer enough as a mid to
I mean,
justify it?
Enchantress has always, even if you play in as a
5
core,
seconds
it's always been the
remaining.
hero that if you don't do well in the lane, like a Brute Mother, you don't do well in the lane, then you're screwed.
OD
Reserve
later on in
time.
the game brings massive team fights.
Yeah,
That's
but-
not something.
But the thing with OD is like he's a little bit similar to Viper or the Razor, where if you lose your lane, the hero's effectiveness is greatly reduced because you pick the hero to win the lane as well. And if you don't win the lane, the hero doesn't flash farm that quickly to catch up. Can't jungle very well. Obviously, you can go for the actual build, try and farm faster, but in most cases, you will choose to max your orb and aura. So your flash farming ability doesn't come early.
All right, fourth ban now from Newbee, and it is a Morphling removed from the pool.
Turn
One
to
of the
pick.
better assassins for the IO, and called for a Tiny to burst down. And of course, looking at LGD, they have been running a lot of 4 Protect 1 strats with Sylar on a hyper carry, but still one of his go-tos, the Terrorblade, is out there. Probably the Morphling and Terrorblade, the 2 biggest ones he's preferred. Do you see LGD maybe changing up their overall strategy, or do you expect to see that 4 Protect 1 again?
It depends on the pace,
10
what they want to play,
seconds
how fast they
remaining.
want to play. If you want to play a faster pace, I think that carries that do well against
5
IOs like the
seconds
Clinks or
remaining.
Weaver, because you can actually find the win very easily because you're very mobile.
Reserve time.
Weaver, you have Shukuchi with obviously the Clinks, you can also skeleton walk behind him and you kill him in a few shots, and you are forcing the IO to get an early Ghost Scepter. Those are good carries that can actually.
LGDs.
And they're
target
also
them.
good at dodging the relocate ganks, so they have a dual edge there.
Yeah, the only issue is it's fast paced. So if the game ever goes late, heroes are not going to stand a chance against Tiny. Very difficult. NewB now goes for the Shadow Shaman. It's going to give them objective-based power. You can take Roshan powers easily with the wards. But then again, this hero does.
Versus Enchantress, this
Yeah.
is a weak laning support.
This
Who
hero,
needs farm
10
and levels.
seconds
this hero
remaining.
is not very good early, and it's kind of greedy because you have Wiz Tiny
5
already. It's
seconds remaining.
not the best early game, so your lanes are sort of going to be vulnerable if
Reserve
the
time.
Enchantress is an off lane. If you have only 2 heroes to deal with the Ench, that might be very, very dangerous right now. I'm not sure how they're going to run their lanes yet, but it seems like the Enchantress might be a problem.
The third pick. What do they want to go for? They are looking a bit on the squishy side here when it comes to nuke damage, and that's the main way that Newbee be looking to kill them at this stage.
Newbies
They
turn
grab a
to
Juggernaut,
Push.
a
Fast pace.
hero that pushes, a hero that can't easily be killed by a Tiny as long as he gets the Blade Fury off.
Depends. I mean, Toss can cancel.
But he's good against the magic damage. So, in that sense, also very good against the relocates. Generally, you're not going to be able to get the toss off the entire. Maybe the Tiny will have a fast blink. Newbee now, 4th pick. Looking for
10
their
seconds
offlaner here
remaining.
as well as their other core.
They ideally want an initiator so
5
they can
seconds remaining.
utilize the relocate.
Does Al play the Tiny, or would that even be your move takes
Reserve
it over?
time.
I'm not very sure.
I guess it's hard to tell.
I think both of them, I remember, played the hero.
Queen of
Okay, so it still could be either way. Hal plays quite a bit of
Turn
quit
to
of
They're
pick.
going for burst, so this might actually mean that it might also be a safe lane Queen of Pain. Options are open. They can actually lane either Tiny mid, QOP safe lane, so that you can actually deal with the Ench in case it's an off lane Ench, so you have sort of a better laning presence with Shadow Shaman. Make up the fact that Shaman is weaker in the lane.
Mm-hmm.
This might be their plan, so see LGD if they actually
10
just go for
seconds
more push.
remaining.
Seems like they want to just play a very
5
fast-paced game,
seconds
go for the early
remaining.
game, and another support to deal with the
Newbies
relocate. And it's
turn
quite
to
obvious
ban.
right now. Enchantress is going to be off lane, Witch Doctor plus the Disruptor as they're supporting
And this is a team with RTK as the offlaner. Now, if you look at LGD, generally they have struggled when RTK is not on one of his comfort heroes. That's Tidehunter, that's Darkseer.
10
fight.
seconds
In the
remaining.
past, it was Clockwork, but Hero's not popular right now. Pretty much every game where he was not on those
5
heroes,
seconds
and even some of the games where he was, struggled. There was a Night Stalker game where he played very well.
Oh, Shaker.
Reserve
Yeah,
time.
but he's going to be going out of his comfort zone, so it should be interesting to see
It's good that he's
how much practice he's had on this.
It's good that he's changing because Enchantress obviously is one of the best offlaners right now. It's really hard to deal with into the right situation. But remember this game, they opened their draft with Enchantress, so it wasn't particularly picked to a situation that they felt that Enchantress would be good. So we'll see how they actually run this. But as of right now, Queen of Pain Shaman seems like they have enough power to deal with the Enchantress. And they have Tiny, so basically Enchantress is very weak against burst damage. Spell burst basically, so Newbee has a lot of spell burst right now. Maybe in the laning phase Enchantress might be able to do well with the creep, but overall if it goes to mid game, Newbee has a lot of nuke to actually deal with the Enchantress if the
10
Enchantress doesn't get a good
remaining.
early game.
5
Now for
seconds
Newbee.
remaining.
Look for their off-lane initiator.
They
look
need-
for
yeah,
a 3-position
They need
hero.
an initiator for sure.
Reserve time.
They need someone to start the fights or protect the, when they're actually trying to siege or take a team. Stun the control. So what else is available? Void is out of the pool, Beastmaster is out. Still like heroes like Spirit Breaker, there's still heroes like Earthshaker, but these are heroes that we don't see too much. I see a lot of Phoenix recently.
LGD's
It's not like a
turn to
hero
pick.
that has a reliable disable, but it's a hero that has a good amount of team fight. So, this was unexpected. They finished their draft with a spec, so it's not the fastest paced hero, but it's still a hero that fight early with his Haunt, the team. It's gonna be a mid Juggernaut. So generally the idea of the mid Juggernaut against the Whisk Tiny is like you mentioned, it's harder to bring down. You can spin and dodge the stun from the Tiny. So in most cases, mid heroes are gonna be playing very careful against their duo, but because it's a Juggernaut, you are more likely to get more farm because you have an escape ability. And if it's against the Queen of Pain, you have the healing more and the spin to dodge the poison. So you should be fine regardless of lanes.
Phoenix for 2 late now, so
Team fight, they just
10
have a lot of team
seconds
fight.
remaining.
feels like a lot of mind games in this draft, Winter. Grabbing the Juggernaut and
5
maybe
seconds
suggesting
remaining.
that's going to be the Sylar hero.
It's
Enchantress early when it's still open that it's a support. LGD
Yeah.
definitely trying to keep Newbee on their toes, whereas Newbee, they went Tiny IO right away. So they basically threw their cards on the table and said, we have a strategy that beats your pick, and we're going to unveil it right now.
It's like they have quite decent heroes against the egg as well. Like Juggernaut is really good at killing the egg. Because you can obviously attack from if you have Dragonlance early. If you have a good early game as an off lane Enchantress, you should probably have it quite early, like before minute 20. Drums. Usually the build is like you get phase, you get a wand, you get a drum, and then go for the Dragonlance. So they have good answers against the egg. So Newbee definitely has to be careful with the Phoenix egg by too late here. He's gonna place a ward here, quite a common warding spot for the offlane to scout out rotations from the supports. It's not gonna block any camp, but it's gonna provide good.
So TP there by him. Doesn't look like LGD had anyone remotely in the neighborhood to scout things out, and at the same time, the award getting planted down near the Dire, or sorry, the Radiant Ancients by the Dire squad. So aggressive vision to be able to spot those Enchantress rotation should RTK leave the lane.
It's still rather unusual for this ward to be placed around it.
Hero that farms them right now. There's some
30
Bristleback
seconds
or
to battle.
Tidehunter.
And sometimes you see teams do that against probably maybe a Earth Spirit or tasks like heroes that can middle. Right now LGD doesn't have that apart. Maybe you're talking about the Enchantress rotations, but I feel like if you're Enchantress off lane, you generally want to focus on playing your own lane as much as you can. You want to get the most out of it. Very similar to Blue, you want to deal with your lane first.
Rune's about to spawn now. LGD sending 4 to the bottom. They'll get
The
that one
battle
for free. And
begins.
RTK sneak in and grab the top, or at least deny it. But Moo's there. He will be the one to get it, not the IO.
So it's going to be a safe lane queen, like we predicted. IO played by Hao, and it's going to be this Tiny, the Tiny by Moo.
It's unusual that they don't give the rune to the IO, but one blocking.
I mean,
the mid
yeah,
lane.
he's blocking the creep, so whatever.
Plays the bottle.
Yeah, whatever works. I mean, obviously it's better. You can say that it's always better to give it to the can get the faster bottle. But I mean, for the tiny, getting a quicker level 2 might because he goes for the 2 branch build, so it means that he has enough mana to actually have 2 spells at level 2. So actually, you don't have. I think you don't
No,
need. Yeah, because
you don't.
it got buffs. That was something also. That was my bad. But you have faster time getting to level 2, so you might have a better chance of killing the Juggernaut because the spin at low levels is a really long cooldown. So if he is forced to use the spin early, you can actually.
Well, no, the only reason why he's gonna have the mana is because you don't have the 2 branches. You won't. They didn't change it's still 240.
Oh, I thought that they changed his intelligence. He has more intelligence. Remember.
Does he have enough with no branches?
Yeah, this is like I remember the old one. You must have.
I know you used to.
Yeah.
And it's still the same mana cost, so yeah, it must be the.
So right now, we'll see how our TK plays his lane. Seems like Queen of Pain is alone here. He plays a sentry that's ward, but how he's going to block off this camp, which is really important if you're against Enchantress or Doom off lanes. You want to make sure the camp is blocked all the time, and they sentry to block the camp behind, and how is body blocking one. No camps for Enchantress, so it means that he might have to go all the way back to his own jungle to secure a creep, because without a creep, the laning phase might be difficult for him.
Yeah, we did see this happen to Complexity
It was
at MDL, and they struggled to recover. Enchantress movement was rather ineffective, ultimately changed her into a supporter's bottom lane. The Phoenix will end up going down first blood here to LGD, but LGD pretty quick to react. Already RTK heading into the woods, and it looks like he is going to try to put pressure on mid.
He didn't even use his dive. Did you catch what happened?
He just got nuked down, I believe, by the last tick there of the Disruptor.
He was just being a bit too greedy, but at the same time, he's gonna the lane push, so he's gonna get some experience here. At least he wasn't
bad.
Phoenix at Shanghai Major offlane 1-0 support. I mean, it's offlane now, so.
Okay, well, E-Home ran him a bunch. Alright, so let's not go thinking Phoenix isn't a good hero. Crazy to think that E-Home's starting the lower bracket.
It happens, you know. Dota is really unexpected now. Don't play well, you lose to anyone. 2-minute room gonna spawn, Newbee's gonna hit the top lane, Moon's gonna run up, take a spin, he gets the toss off, so probably gonna secure the room for the Wiz here. Seeing there's anything much MMY can do in this situation, and RTK here denies his own creep.
They're gonna look to fight this perhaps though, maybe, no blade here actually, I already used it on the wave.
Oh, the cam is finally spawned, to say I'm able to block it with the hero here. So he's gonna get a Best Smasher, so it's gonna help his lane.
Looking at the overall development of the lanes, Winfrey, you have a free farm Juggernaut mid and a free farm Spectre safe lane with the first blood to LGD. They have not shut down the Enchantress. RTK is getting experience now. Doesn't feel like Newbee's getting enough.
I think I mentioned this during the panel. If you have a Spectre, and usually when you have a Spectre, you expect, okay, I'm gonna have a tougher lane phase, but I'm gonna make up for it. But if you ever have a Spectre and you have a good early game, you know that you are in a really good position in the game.
This is very dangerous now for Tule. That level 2 glimpse is online, so he's gonna have to be careful about when the dive comes
really,
out.
really good.
I would say it's him. Silencer probably the best.
Silencer,
and Skyrath is very
these
good.
3 are the best supports against.
Okay.
Oh, they're gonna go for the Phoenix here at bottom lane. They're gonna
Tule getting caught out now, and although he has the dive, just perfect time. Looks like, yeah, they pull him right back in. Spectre even gonna get the last hit. Oh, the very fire!
RTK as well, he's in trouble at top. Both the offlaners, he's gonna get chased down the tether. How's gonna finish him off with the scream, and both the offlaners going down at the same time here.
Enchantress is the hero that can go to the jungle to catch up more easily, but still an offlaner for an offlaner.
Yeah, but if you think about, you compare these 2 offlaners, if both are having a bad time, I would think that if I'm the Phoenix, at least I'll be able to do something in team. But if Enchantress falls behind, basically screwed after.
Something we haven't discussed is LGD. How good are they at killing the Phoenix egg? They've got Juggernaut, generally one of the better heroes.
Yeah, they have Enchantress, like I mentioned, long range. So pretty decent. So they have if you have 2 heroes hitting the egg at early levels, usually it's more than enough to get the egg.
Nope. Out of the maroon, they are going to catch up with Disruptor. GDC, he'll at least snag a bounty rune here on his way down. The Spirit's crashing through. A little more damage. They get the next Spirit on him. Good placement by Too Light and should burn down in the end. Newbee grabbed next kill as well. Score. Movement here from MMY. He grabbed an Invis rune.
Time to place a what? Free smoke.
Top lane. It's going to allow some confidence from RTK in his movement.
Oh, there's not much stacks here, Gorman here. Usually they are but right now with the Wiz and Tiny, you want to have a lot of stacks so you can actually your economy ahead. But even MMO is expecting to find stacks there. You place a ward, hoping to find stacks. So maybe the Juggernaut at some point can go in and steal it, or the Enchant.
Oh, they're hunting Too Late bottom. The Glimpse is ready now, and as he tries to dive away, oh, couldn't quite cast it. Yeah. See, not able to wrangle that Phoenix.
It's like you have to anticipate it. It's not that easy, and sometimes the players dive a bit late. So probably didn't expect the early dive in mid lane. You see the spin coming out on move.
Those cast bounces, brilliant stuff, but not enough damage to follow it up. Wow, get harder soon though. Juggernaut's level 6.
The Juggernaut is actually wrecking the lane in terms of CS. He has 32 CS. It's similar to both the safe lane as from both teams.
So a lot of this is really the Witch Doctor factor. It's so hard to be aggressive when you're tiny IO against that cast.
My blade is swifter.
Yeah, the Witch Doctor obviously think mid has paid off for LGD, stabilizing the mid lane and causing a lot of trouble for Tiny. Can't really farm as well as the Juggernaut. To mention that because he has very low base armor, he's taking a lot of damage from Harris as well. I think overall, if you look at the laning phase, Enchantress, yes, is not having a good time, but the other 2 lanes, the mid and the safe lane, is going really well for LGD.
With this creep wave top for now. We are seeing the Enchantress begin to catch up. It's level 4. While the Phoenix, bottom lane, again in the river. Too Late in trouble. The cast coming through, going to catch him out. They've got a Glimp ready. The dive also available. He's going to make it uphill. That will escape. And while that was happening, maybe cracked level 6, got up the Omni Slash and kills off the Tiny, unable to save him. Going from bad to worse here for Newbee. Their super carry is not getting it done, and thus winter, it begins to feel like it's going to be all on how to salvage this laning stage.
He's gonna worry about the haunt now, because Syla is level 6. So if he blinks in, he commits for a kill, there's a very good chance he'll die, because he just haunts him as the Queen of Pain. So he has to be extremely careful about that as well. Like, obviously when you hit level 6 as Queen, you want to be active on the map, you want to have TP, you want to get ready to move. Now, against the Spectre, you have to be careful.
That ward is really paying off now. They see both Newbee supports in the jungle, so maybe play more aggressively here. Maybe go on with the blade. Ooh, a little low to tower dive that. Backing out.
He was definitely thinking about it. Queen of Pain, are they going to commit for this? There's a haunt from the Spectre.
Dream comes through, the quad over the top, not enough to finish up. Maybe though, he keeps it running, but that Chuck will find him. The trade comes as Sylar starts cleaning up the dive, brings down the Quap, who blinks forward aggressively for more, but low on mana. Up the hill they go. Chuan's gonna turn, gets off the first nuke. Avalanche is there. They've got the toss available as well. Sylar's a bit tanky. He's got the point of dispersion to keep him alive longer. He does spend all his gold grabbing the urn, but will end up falling.
That was really risky for him. Like, they were already...
Not done yet. DDC hunting Chuan. Glimpse. Finds him.
He's alone though.
The field, but can he even auto-attack him down in time? Chuan's gonna try to walk out of here. Only has the 330 move speed. DDC has the high ground ward. He's got the better move speed. 2 more auto-attacks will finish. Not enough. Doesn't even miss uphill.
But they noticed there's a ward there because he hit him from the low ground. They had vision there. But LGD was already on the upper hand when they got the return kill with the horn, but then Syla decided that he wanted to chase up the high ground and didn't expect Shaman played by Tron to be on the high ground with the Tiny, so got a bit greedy and paid the price for it. So in the end of the day, it didn't go too bad for Newbee, despite losing team and using the Sonic Wave Spectre, so it was pretty even. So right now, Spectre back with the bot tank to farm, has a bracer, has an urn, so going for that urn.
Jumping on mid, Omni Slash from Maybe, forcing move back towards him, but he chucks him away, and he is gonna end up living. Now how's there to turn this? Maybe he's gonna get punished, drops low, and MMY finished off. It's like they can't quite kill him. The chuck, they do it! The chuck on Hal! Who needs
team
Blink when
play.
you've got friends?
The team play how and
Newbee punish. Huge swing of momentum there. 1,200 gold and a ton of momentum.
Oh
Pop
dear.
bombs. Now I've really seen it all.
It's more the team play, you know, from Hao and Moon. Like, you know, we see this a lot from all the teams played together at Kung Fu, wherever they go. Like, they always have this amazing chemistry between the two players. Got a lot from that trade-off. Next horn will be up. We'll see whether LGD can get something done with the next horn here. Disruptor is still level 5. Both the supports doesn't have access to the level 6, so they have to find a way to get those time for their supports.
They really need these kills because they are getting massively up.
They're gonna steal the stack though, so that's something at the very least.
Amu, he's walking up the cliff. RTK is going to be there to meet him, and MMY's in position. Enchantress creeps, scouting out Newbee, threatening them. Big economic damage there, probably about a 500 gold swing off of that. Money denied to Newbee and given to LGD. Ilar, like he said, does have Haunt ready, up to 1,000 gold. Generally, we'll see just the one early tank item like the urn, and then into the relic if you have the good start. But perhaps with the burst damage, he'll even consider completed drums as well. Time will tell. For now, they're saving up the gold.
Let's see. They have to probably free lanes right now for LGD to get support to level 6. I think their next immediate objective, they need to get the level 6 on board before they try and do something. Obviously, wait for Omni Slash to go off cooldown. So those are the things that they need to get done for LGD. As for
coming from Newbee.
Yeah, as for Newbee, they are ready to fight. They have Sonic Wave, they have the Serpent Wasp from Tron, so everything is online for Newbee. Newbee is looking to make a crack here. They have the egg as well on Tule. Everything is online for Newbee. This is like their peak of their power point right now. Their ultimates are flying faster than LGD.
Including the Icarus dive, but that's just the wrong direction. They're still gonna dive it. Puffo gets dropped. Sylar alive behind the tower. That Urn and Bracer making the difference. He burns low. He will end up falling. The egg gets committed and maybe looks to turn this one around as he dives in. Drop the Omni Slash, got the club. Now gets Chuan as well with one last chop of that Samurai sword. Turning back towards Tule, who's got a fresh dive available. Got to get out of this. In the end, a 2 for 1.
That was like a costly mistake by the Phoenix.
Do you think they still should have gone for it after he dove the wrong way, or was that
I'm not sure.
an error? DDC, the chuck in for Moo, cleaning up and trying to salvage the game here for Newbee. Maybe trapped behind the tower, no Blade Fury for some time. They're going to move forward. Toss is available. Sunray, though, keeping them in fighting shape as they dive deeper and deeper. MMY will be hacked down, and Moo's not done yet. He's going to have a combo in 4 seconds time. He might be able to turn on some of these LGD heroes. Will he get it off? Avalanche chucks back the Juggernaut, keeps on running. Phoenix not able to save him, and Chuan rejoins the fight. Hal's right back into it, working their way onto maybe, trying to finish off this Juggernaut. The Fire Spirit's really limiting LGD's damage output, but they're going to wear off here soon. And Chuan gets around it. Sylar barely surviving. They try to burn him down. Too late. Trying to trap him in the trees. He quelling his way out. Sylar surviving. Keeps on running. DDC is going to glitch. Can Hal finish the jump? The blink in 1 second. No, he's sent packing. He turns back on the jump. He has to use the blink to escape. Insanity erupting in the bottom lane and a 10-10 score. But LGD overall slightly on top of the numbers at the end of all that.
Yep, and they'll be happy that the Spectre didn't go down there. It was really good build from Sylar. They're managing to get out of that situation. That would have been really bad for them if they lost the Spectre there. So overall, I mean, Spectre and Juggernaut right now top of the net worth. If you look at the team fight right now, Newbee might have a better team fight because they have offlaner that is more, you know, focused on getting the team to win the team fights, which is the Phoenix, whereas LGD's offlaner right now doesn't provide, which is the Enchantress, doesn't provide too much in terms of the team. So I think if Newbee executed their moves much better, they should be able to win fights much more. Yes, in the last fight, obviously we saw the Phoenix missing the dive for some reason, but Newbee still went for it.
Well, he was facing the wrong way. So yeah, I guess he
just screwed up. He just messed up. So I think if they did everything correctly, they should have been able to take the fight really cleanly. Like, hit the dive, it slowed the Spectre. So right now, Newbee with their next cooldown of wards are choosing to secure another tower here. Power of the lineup. They're able to take objectives easily with the wards and, you know, their cooldowns, the Sonic Wave, the egg. It's not easy for LGD to fight into this.
Well, they have Omni Slash and Burn.
They want
a
to try
level
to
2
defend,
Omni at that. This can easily kill 2 heroes if maybe finds a good opening.
Oh, the tower is actually not going to go down. They actually successfully defended the tower.
And they farm the wards up.
They're going to try and get Sylar here, but there's a ward there that sees the rotation. So LGD knows what's up, so they might just try to move top lane. Yep, they're going to go into top lane, try to find a pick-off and use the from the Spectres. They cannot farm water now. They want to get him involved in another way.
What's your tiny build this game if you're Moo? Are you still going Blink as late as it is?
I think so. I think Blink is pretty good versus the Squishy. They have 3 Squishy heroes. We said that during the drop. Disruptor, Witch Doctor, and Enchantress. You want to be able to actually just pick them off right from the...
Be a big item. Tule hasn't had the best Phoenix game, but he is going to get the mech now. What a time for it. As top lane, ADC, Smoke about to break, but moving into position. He's got the Static Storm ready. Team NewBee did scout it out, though. Forced to back in the end. Still the tower denied by Sylar.
Just look at wards from both moment. Like, they have like wards covering enemy base. They see a lot of stuff like LGD. They see the mid lane. They see a little bit of the top lane, and they have a deep ward in their behind.
Oh, great play by Chuan. He's going to hex the illusion there before they can actually jump in with Sylar. So instead, Sylar tries to go in how Omni Slash comes through, just gets the kill in time.
They actually get the bigger kill because of that. I think he clicked on Hunt towards
relocating on mid, but they relocated into a Static Storm as well as the Death Ward. There's the Vector too late to try and turn this fight back. Will end up going down anyway. LGD were ready, driving through his move, but he can't get the kill. The Sunray comes through a long range amp's gonna crash into him, and he gets pulled back by the glimpse. Move may go down as well. The reload kit turns into an ambush. It's a trap, and LGD end up grabbing 3 when it all settles down. Vector now 2,300 gold, maybe. Drums completed as a fresh item perhaps coming soon. Already a Yasha on the courier. LGD.
Yeah, that was like the support having the ultimate now this time. Better for LGD because the previous fight, the supports were a bit under level, so compared to the newbie supports right now, with that 2 ultimates online, they have to be really careful about their relocating. They have to consider the fact that they might be relocating into a Static Storm or a cast from the Witch Doctor. They need to be careful with that.
And of course, when you pick Tiny IO first, it's not like LGD didn't have opportunities to counterpick for the relocate. So you just have to understand that and play more carefully.
Yeah, they still have really good team fight since the Phoenix went for early mech instead of the Wiz. Sometimes why you don't see Phoenixes going for mech because you generally have mana issues team fights if you are going for the Sunray build. Because a lot of mana and your spells are costing a lot of mana, so very rarely you see players go for the mech build unless absolutely necessary, and he's going for what it seems like a Bell next, which is a good item considering their team composition. They have Tiny, they have Shaman, all these heroes deal a lot of spell damage. I think that's a really good item for the Phoenix.
I mean, he did opt to grab the point boosters. No Blink Dagger. Just gonna focus on economy while top lane. They wanted to relocate, but maybe he's able to blade clear out before Chuan can get in range for the Hex. Yeah. And now they might even counterplay this. The Disruptor's there. They chuck forward. He drops the Static Storm. They'll move, trying to chase him down. He gets trapped inside the Kinetic Field. DDC juking and biding time while the reinforcements can come in there to relocate. They toss back the illusion. Again, the Spectre illusion being turned against Team LGD, but Sylar's still finding kills elsewhere. Will finish off this Shadow Shaman while Moo drops low, being pursued out. The Imps coming from long range, almost solo killing Moo, but he does make it back to safety. A 1-for-1 support trade. A lot of big ultimates getting expended there. Easy back and forth game.
If you think about it, if it's a back and forth game and NewBee with heroes that arguably have a better team fight, if they are not staying ahead, and LGD has the Spectre, you're gonna be happy with it. And now Sylar has the Relic. He has enough gold for Relic. When the Radiance comes online, good luck, have fun with the
Sylar is 5, 2, and 7. The team is 14 kills, and he has been in 12 of them.
I mean, it's a Spectre.
He also leads in CS. So he's kept his farm up, he's been in every fight. And it just comes back to the lanes. They gave up an early kill on the Phoenix, he wasn't pressured at all. Give a Spectre a free lane, and especially in Sylar's hands, he's gonna punish him.
He was actually indeed a really good Spectre, because they understood that NewBee are playing greedy with the Shaman and Wisp. They are not going to be able to pressure you, so they pick a really greedy, like the Spectre, and they move the Juggernaut into the mid lane. So,
and the Jug's also great because he's not going to die to Tiny IO because he always has the Blade Fury.
It doesn't matter who he lanes, like either the Queen or the Tiny goes mid, Juggernaut will be fine in that lane. So that was a really good in terms of buff-wise for LGD. Right now, NewBee with the next wards up. Let's see what they're gonna do. Are they gonna try to go for Roshan? Try to go for the tower?
I am still feeling like a lot Hal's shoulders. He's managed to grab the Orchid, so the first major item after the mech. And he find pickoffs with it.
He still dies so easily though if he gets caught by either the Spectre.
Juan. Sylar. Sylar, not only does he have Relic, but he's got 670 gold.
He's gonna get the Radiance soon. Like if the
and
fight...
let's check Newbee's HP pools. You've got Les sitting at 940, Tiny pretty healthy.
This does not look good for NewB, Gorman. Like if he gets the Radiance before the next fight, they're just gonna get run over by
They've got
Haunt.
3 heroes below 1000 health. So you look at the Haunt damage, and it is gonna bring those heroes down.
You talked about the Orchid on how it's like. So what if he has the Orchid? He's gonna die like easily if he gets glimpsed. And
oh, they found RTK. Get off the shackles and stuff. But can they even kill him? They're gonna hex him as well. They nuke him down, trying to finish the Enchantress, but Bambi so easily dealt with. Now the Haunt comes, looking for the turn. Sylar straight onto Twan here, who doesn't have the teleport scroll. The dagger's there. Twan gonna be muscled down by Sylar. Elsewhere, Static Storm does come through. Prevents the Queen of Pain escape.
3 ultimates for the Queen of Pain.
And the Omni Slash finishes the job. So 2 kills. No returns, but and wards now into maybe, so almost 3 comes to gold.
And right now, the game is really tipping into LGD's favor because their heroes are coming online and Spectre Rage. That was without the Radiance, so the next fight obviously is going to be harder. I think it's important for NewB that they get the... Because Tiny went for the Ags, it's difficult for them to get the first move. And because Shaman doesn't have... He's not going for Blink either, he's going for Aetherland, so... Not going to be easy, and if you don't get the first move, if LGD makes the glimpse into Static Storm, they start the fight, they're just going to kill him.
He's out far here. Looks like he's going to be punished. There's a relocate ready, but maybe he's got a double damager, and it's only going to take a few, and not actually going to use the Blade Fury here.
He wanted to place the wall.
One down. NewB rotating, they're going to blink in with Hal, they're really committing for this, they get up the avalanche, the toss as well. Can they finish? Maybe though, he's got a DD rune, drum charge, bleeding top, can they drop it? One more club, Moo does manage to get the kill, RTK with the double, but NewB, they find that Juggernaut, that's a big one for them, and they do it at the right time, still RTK. Not so easy. He buys up the Dragon Lance. He's getting body blocked now. DDC getting silenced as he manages to drop the kinetic kill, but he also gets caught by a Quaffle. He's going to take down to the Soul Burn. Hal rushing in, but it's right into Sylar's waiting arms, and Sylar's ready to rock and roll. Moo being held up, but Sylar's healthy. Can keep on charging, and the Radiance is now complete. The damage is immense, with the Imps crashing as well. A Death Ward committed. That's 3 down. NewB firmly spanked and sent packing. They get the Jug, the Disruptor, but they give up their 2 biggest cores on the Tiny and the Queen of Pain. And once again, Sylar has another 700 gold.
That was just Tron trying to support like in the enemy jungle, and he got caught because there was a late. Oh, this was just freshly planned, so it was just LGD being there in the neighborhood in a bad timing for Tron. So right now, NewB is gonna have a lot of trouble taking team fights. Radiance is online, like you mentioned, and as long as they get a glimpse into Static Storm to start the fight, whoever gets caught will be dead, and unless the Wisp is able to relocate that person out. They have a lot of ways of killing the Wisp really quickly with the Radiance on Spectre. Once the Radiance ultimate comes on, anyone hits the Wisp a few times, he's just gonna die, so... Not even gonna be reliable that he gets the relocate out teammate that's getting down, so it'd be hard for them.
Look at this Winter. Maybe is going back in Blade here, so...
Good for the Orchid.
The Orchid, there's the Hex, and I guess the Fire Spirits remain. Plus it just is a decent damage.
It gives you damage.
It's a good damage.
Yeah, it gives you a really good amount of damage, and obviously it works with the Orchid.
Good move here by Twan though. He's invis. He manages to break an LGD smoke. Looks like they were going for a pick straight into the Roach Pit. Even thinking about going straight in anyway.
They can still go in. I think they have a DD on Juggernaut.
It's a Phoenix with a fresh L completed. Pop bolt's down to 25 though, and LGD know that. Yeah, but it's kind of playing it. If they get a pick there, they definitely
They actually could have done it because look at NewB. They're actually not in position at all, but they're worried. Right now, RTK is going to run into the lane.
Can find Hal. The illusion keeps on hunting, and DDC has the glimpse available. And Hal again finds himself trapped, surrounded, beaten into a fall.
I thought he was actually going to be able to get out. He got the silence actually on the Disruptor before Disruptor done anything. I guess too much damage coming out from that.
Pretty squishy. Yeah, like you brought up early with the Orchid build. This is the downside, and maybe moving on to Moo here. He's going to play free to dodge away from an avalanche, and then they will glimpse back Moo into the Static Zone. The cast comes with a very well-timed relocate, brings him back to safety. Left have to take one for the team, as there's no one in sight to try and turn this one around.
Rip.
I hardly knew.
That's the life of the Wisp, you know. When your team is like losing as a Wiz, that's mostly what you're gonna be doing in a lot of the games.
The good news is he has plenty to go get a cool.
I don't think that's what he wants here, but right.
Well, it's what he has available to him. Get a drink.
Haste!
Right now, the situation of the game looks really bad for Newbee because LGD's strength of their lineup is starting to show right now with the Radiance on the Spectre, and not only that, every one of their heroes are actually dealing a good amount of damage in team fights. Even Disruptor, Disruptor Ultimate, and there's of ROTK with the input right now. He has Dragonlance completed, fairly tanky as well with his build, power treads, drums. So it's not like there's only this one hero dealing damage in team fight and you focus him down as Newbee and you actually win.
There's 3 carries that all deal damage and 2 supports that also deal a lot of damage.
They have to be. That's why I said initiation is really important for Newbee. Do not have blink on any of the heroes.
They are gonna find MMY though. Can they at least get one clean Orchid pick this game? Well, they get the kill, but the Imp is gonna follow too late. Might be enough to kill him. No, not quite, but that's pretty low, and then the glimpse comes through. They'll pull him right back. Gonna be roasted Phoenix for dinner. LGD, well, back on him, and even that is not a clean kill. Disruptor has just been preventing freebies for any of this game.
Still think that for Newbee to be able to come back,
they're making their move here. They found out Sylar. Can they finish him off though? The combo committed. There's the soul burn, perfectly executed, and this time, no
the wards. GD is gonna know that that's vision there, so Vision already paid its price. They get a big kill. Right now, I mean, Spectre has enough gold to maybe transition into his next item. I'm thinking probably either getting a Manta, since they already have a diffuser. Probably Manta is the best item next. Silence as well, farm faster, general Spectre items, Radiance, Manta, and diffuser. Game is still looking really good for LGD despite the Spectre going down there.
If it just proceeds evenly to late game, do you straight up favor LGD there?
Yeah, of course. They have the Spectre. And the Juggernaut as well. Like, I know Tiny is really strong. The enemy arguably has position 1 heroes and you're alone Tiny.
And Enchantress who can be at least like a...
Yeah, despite the trouble he had in the early game, RTK has caught up really well. He's really farm at this stage of the game considering his start, so he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with late game as well. He has 3k gold, so basically the Aghanim's, if he wants it, it's almost done.
So what's the plan for Newbee? Do you just let push now? Do you try to play the rat game?
The rat game is not even gonna be easy because it's Spectre and Disruptor. They have tools to catch you, but obviously if you can't fight head on, that's the best route that you do. You try to rat and you try to use your wards to take other towers straight off.
Prepping for this, they've got the relocate online. They dropped the Veil in the pit. Here it's coming in to slow down this LGD Roshan. Maybe. Purging those off. Getting onto the charges. They'll keep on working on the big rock, and Moose shows no signs of rotating yet. It seems Newbee don't have the confidence to go into the pit.
Yeah, it's still really hard despite having Phoenix there. LGD's team fight is still extremely strong. Like, the Horn gives away your positioning, it makes it really hard for Phoenix to land really. Yeah, so you're just gonna try to get as much as you can, because when you're losing, you just try to quick push and catch up. Yeah, best movement. Somehow have to try to LGD to fight, use their Horn, and when Horn is down, try to go for buildings with the... I think that's their...
Prepping for a kill, but there's nobody for him to roast yet. Got the clip. Viz. B. No neighborhood. No heroes either. LGD just gonna bait ROTK. Doesn't seem like this will amount to a whole lot. And well, that's happening how? This construction fresh item. The BKB now purchased, so has a solution for the Disruptor. Still a lot of damage that can pierce this. The Omni Slash, the right clicks, and
Death
course
Ward.
that impetus.
Yeah, Death Ward impetus. It's not like it's guaranteed that he's gonna live, it's just like it's gonna
But he still needs it. That's the beauty of Disruptor.
It's gonna deal with Disruptor and it's gonna deal with the Radiance Dispersion, Desolate.
It's done. Who wants to use it? He's gonna rumble down the top lane.
They have to send someone back to the...
Radiant's top
Hero,
tower
perhaps.
is
We
under
see
attack.
Newbee make a move on mid. For now, it's just the Spectre, and well, I guess not. If Spectre's there, then 5 are there.
He's way too tanky. Yes, they can be risky for him to go.
The other thing is not only can Spectre hunt them when they're ratting, but he can just go home, defend, and be ready to join the push mid. So he's a solution in that regard.
He's also really tanky. Like it's not like vulnerable to.
It's not like maybe
combo.
an Ember Spirit or something.
Yeah, if you get caught by the combo, you die. And he's not that hero. So he's an ideal carry for this situation for LGD. Right now, looking at items, our TK has his
Aghanim's is coming.
That is like the biggest.
With the Dragonlance stuff.
Oh. The supports have 8 lands on Witch Doctor. Disruptor probably gonna finish up with Glimmer Cape. It's gonna move on to his next item. So, I mean, all the items are coming online.
Thatcher is a possibility.
I mean, even going for more like
MKB.
I think even going for more stats is like he just needs to make sure they survive the fight, they don't die. Because if you think about it, because every single one of their hero is able to output damage. Basically, you just survive. It's not like a game where Juggernaut needs to be sole damage output of the. Everyone else does damage. So I think like going for stats, being tanky is also a good build for the Juggernaut this day. Be a Skadi next. Increase his survivability.
LGD. Rim gets popped here. See your Omni Slash cooldown. Gonna be low. 77 seconds. Got a mini Aghanim Scepter to work with.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
On the bottom lane. Be also with Frost Armor, keeping him even more durable through this siege. Down the tower, they're leaving the Spectre top to prevent any counterplay.
Dire's structures.
Still got 2 minutes on the Aegis. Oh, perhaps LGD. Perhaps they'll even threaten high ground. They're moving on mid though. They want to try to go Sylar here. Avalanche toss.
Yes, Aegis though.
He's turning. He's charging after Hal. Lay's hiding in the trees. Had the DD run on Hal. I think they realize that's a mistake. And now Moo's gonna get turned up. Static Storm. Omni Slash, but he got relocated. Slash gets blown, but it's an Arcane run Omni Slash, so relatively low cooldown there.
Oh dear.
They should be able to collect their IO prize.
They actually had the right idea that they wanted to scout out for the Wisp, but the Horn just came a little too late. So they couldn't actually scout out the Wisp early.
Lay, is he gonna live? No, flip back the other way, and IO running.
Story of my life, says Wisp. Saving my bro, and I'm paying for the price. But it's all for the greater. All for the greater good.
You just keep telling yourself that, Winter.
Hopefully the Tiny can carry me this game. Come on, it's just life of a support when you're losing.
Feeder.
Oh,
True feeder.
I guess you don't play Venge, you know? Even if you ever play Venge, you're not gonna swap your teammate.
I don't feed it.
Full support, Gorman. Sorry.
Even when I play support, I don't. I mean, I'm on my ward, but I'm not supporting.
I am playing support hero, but support hero is use support. I don't buy wards. I don't do anything.
I'll buy wards, but only when I'm happy with my items. Sometimes you gotta.
You remind me of FY. Even buy wards, you know, Ice on the Bat Rider, buying wards for his team. You're just that support.
You can be a defender to my bottom lane, there's the dive. Moo, aggressive positioning here, and he is gonna get caught out. CDC still holding the glyph, and moves down for the count, trying for the split push. Will get punished there. Not able to get in range to help that one out, just gonna tether himself back. They lose their Tiny. More and more desperate for Newbee by the second. Jug for going back for BKB, so you mentioned stats. This is a similar idea, just a survivability item.
Just to survive. It's still good because it allows him to, you know, just run in. Because all of Newbee's heroes does a lot of damage from spell and obviously disable, so it's still a really good. I really forgot about that because it always strikes my mind. You're Juggernaut, you have spin, you don't need BKB, but you know, in some games you need. But right now, LGD's
Tyler just buried himself with salve at 33 minutes and immediately gets it by neutral. You gotta love the efficiency attempt there. He will smoke, but it didn't get too late, so it looks like they want to bait him.
They're gonna just need one hero to push the lane. They're trying to hunt, because basically against it's like Wisp Tiny, you want to hunt the Spectre, you want to go for the Wisp Tiny. For other lanes, onto the other lane. So right now, LGD, are they looking to? Maybe they don't really need to rush things. I think they wait for the next Roshan. They have map control, so I think they are actually just more comfortable of waiting for the next Roshan. The gem, devote the map. Your advantage, increase your advantage, control the map, and just go high ground with the edges. I think that would be the safest play for them. Yeah, the gem is actually on Newbee. If you're winning, you want a gem to extend your lead, and if you're losing, you want a gem to try and come back in, move the enemy vision. They are controlling the map. They probably have deep walls in your base, so you want a gem to actually remove.
Gift from the tempest of battle.
Are indeed out now for both teams, just being purchased. Maybe.
Both teams.
There's one on the shaman as well. Bon has grabbed one.
Is there one?
Sylar also holding one.
Oh, Sylar has a gem.
Spectre with a gem is really dirty too, because you haunt and every hero is immediately scouted no matter what. Glimmer Capes ain't gonna keep you safe, Invis runes.
It's just like Naga with a gem.
Well, it's worse, because no matter where you are, they always find.
How is that worse? It's once every 2 minutes. Naga has it all
But
the
when it's happening, it's worse. More intense pain for a shorter period of time, Winter. It's actually a good point. Would you rather incredible suffering for only a few moments, or light suffering?
I'd rather get it over with, especially sing with you. I'd rather get over with.
Oh, don't worry, buddy. We'll get you. We can get you out of here as quickly as possible.
Radiant's
Got a
bottom
one-way
tower
exit for you.
is
There's
under
window.
attack. Radiant
Free to take it
structures
any time.
are fortified.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Sylar moving on to Moo, who's committing for the siege here. Illusion's coming in,
Oh, relocate top.
and they are going to relocate their way out of there.
Alright. Seen this story again. And obviously, I hope you appreciate your life more this time by dying again after I saved you.
My life a lot more if you had a mute button. Charity! LGD! The BM glimpse back, saying we don't need this kill. We'll win anyway.
That was not a BM glimpse.
I know.
That was I messed up glimpse.
Blacks, you're doing fine.
That's you. When you're supporting, my chat will be we need wards.
Every single direction is what we need. Oh my. Things getting a little silly here, but LGD still consistently maintaining their edge. They're up by 8,000 gold.
They're waiting for the Roshan.
10,000 experience.
They're waiting for the Roshan for them. If you look at item-wise...
Oh, they got the glimpse off on how BKB is going to be used here. And he blinks in. Who's blinked in? Did they see the blink? They pull him off. This is the impetus as well as the death board. What are you doing? How? Oh, meanwhile, it's following too late. It's about half his health. It's still gone, and they see opportunity charging with the drum charge getting popped. Relocate gets committed again. Lay spending a lot of time saving his teammates.
Is he gonna get a charity glimpse again?
I don't know if they... Oh, I guess they didn't see it.
They didn't see him, okay. They didn't see him, so that is already charity. They didn't see him, so he's gonna live. And right now, Hao is down for another 45 seconds. They're gonna commit the ward to actually buy time for Hao to actually get up. But is that going to be enough? The healing ward is going to keep them sustained.
Okay, they've got Sunrays. Even Spectre doesn't like the frickin' Sunray. He's gonna have to back a bit. Reset here.
Spectre is dark matter. Dark matter doesn't like bright matter. That works.
But rat action top lane. They're gonna fight Moo here. Is he gonna talk about rats? He got TP out, and there's no bash. There's no way to stop that BKB TP. LGD. Some mistakes starting to pile up here, and opening the way for Newbee.
Did no one actually have a TP?
I don't think they expected him to commit.
Wait, no one had a TP on the course? Except the Spectre? Oh dear, Enchantress didn't have a TP, Juggernaut didn't have a TP.
Well, they knew Relocate was on cooldown, so they're probably thinking he's not going to risk that when there's no save.
Oh
but
dear, that was huge.
It was a gamble by Newbee.
They have to be able to... If Newbee can actually get the Roshan instead of LG getting the Roshan, they might actually put themselves in a good position to come back in the game and buy enough time for Tiny to become the beast that we know.
And remember, they also have a Shadow Shaman, a pretty good hero in these potential ratty games, but he's a little bit light on items. Still, you see a Hex on How now, so pick off potential amplifies. not entirely out of this one yet. And a head-on fight, very unlikely to win, but they can play more evasive finesse Dota. Chance.
They need to, dodge, try to buy time, and rest. Like, try to avoid and take the fights that you can win. Numbers fight, you move them around the map. Only take fights when you have the numbers advantage. So right now, they are currently positioning their with tiny bottom, trying to, trying to hide and wait for because they don't see the LGD heroes on the map, so they're really scared. But LGD moving in the right direction, they might actually get a pick off here. They can actually kill the wisp first. That would be huge for them.
All hiding in the trees, maybe.
Just like HY told everyone, just hide in the trees and you'll be fine. They're actually gonna be fine.
Well, someone was listening.
No one is getting scouted.
Well, Daryl didn't learn. It seems Newbee. He just might have. But LGD are just gonna force objectives here.
By the way, Butterfly on Tiny, so he's gonna kill your base if he gets the chance. By AC.
Sylar, Hex there from How. That's not here you want to be trying to focus down. He knows it too. He will blink back, but maybe moves in. They're going to use the Haunt. How? Blink will cool down for 1 second time. The Omni Slash coming through. He blinks out at the final moment. 10 HP. But in the trees, Sylar hunts him down anyway, and they will get the pick there. Moo with the toss back, trying to retreat his way out. The X comes slashing through, and Moo will drop as well. That's 2 huge cores down, neither with buyback. And Lei might also drop here. LGD walks right into it.
Bashed. Gorman, he got bashed. He didn't realize that he probably would have just used his flutter to actually run away. I think he didn't know about the basher on the Juggernaut.
That was the debut. That was the first time it's been used, because right when he bought it, they smoked.
No buybacks. 60 seconds.
I'd be the bailout LGD needed. Just when it looked like Newbee, we're gonna make things interesting. 2 crucial kills going the wrong way. So they push in mid, they are gonna drop
going the wrong way if you're LGD.
Wrong way for Newbee.
This is bad. They're gonna probably lose 2 lanes of Rex at this rate.
Maybe more. Bot is on cooldown, but you have buybacks
They
to
have
get
to
here.
try and buy time for the last Rex.
They've got 5 buybacks. They can stick around if they'd like. Top lane is pushing in.
If LGD goes for the top lane, they have to hold a defense. There's no choice.
No risk it. LGD are content. TP away. Look at these lanes out. Now, next round of items likely to come out here.
How often do you see RTK this rich? He's actually even richer than the enemy safe lane. So that's gonna be the Abyssal Blade done on maybe. Even more reliable lockdown this time. Good luck BKB TPing out in front of that guy.
And he can main fight the Tiny as well, pretty well at this point. As the BKB, so no Craggy procs.
He doesn't have an MKB, so I think if the Tiny can actually catch him before he BKB, still be able to win. But
yes, if he catches him. They do have 2 hexes.
Newbee has to make this smoke move. They took so much damage in their base. Oh dear, the scout. The scout.
That Invis were a Newbee trying for shenanigans, and they're gonna take out their rage on the Wildkin.
The RTK on point again with that chanted creep. Knows what's up, because he knows that Newbee just lost a team fight, no one showing on the map. Either smoke to kill you or smoke to rush.
Now time for LGD to grab that Roshan. Testing.
I think they have to though. I think if they give away this rush, it's like gonna lose the next fight for sure.
There's no way you can beat an Aegis, Cheese,
They
and
have to fight.
you know there's the Spectre buyback. Sylar has not gotten an item in a long time.
Let's go. Moo's gonna BKB, run into the Roche pit. Let's go.
Maybe he's gonna run out of the Roche pit, and that will burst him. Oh, it's gonna do a pretty chunk of damage there to Moo. They'll glimpse it back just a little bit. Pulling him down now. There's the tether. They get off a very good nail, but maybe just goes towards the BKB. He's getting poked out inside of the Lord. Turns on the Omnibus, working on Moo together with the Death Lord, with the Aether range. Moo, low but not dead yet. The Infinite the job. ROTK really dishing out the damage. Maybe cleans up a third, and Sylar hunts for a 4th. Too late, purge, and dead as well. And Newbee, after a back and forth brawl, end up dropping game number 1. 34-16 the score. LGD, probably the favorites coming into the event so far, looking good.
And they show that they are more willing to try new stuff. Like before this, like remember we always talk about LGD. LGD are a team that they're always sticking to old picks. They're really traditional. They're not willing to try new heroes, the meta heroes. They're always sticking to their guns. RTK is always on hero that doesn't want to farm a lot. And this game he's on a hero that wants to win his lane, wants to farm, deal damage in team fights, and they adjusted their